So, good afternoon everybody and welcome to Lima in Peru, specifically the area of San Isidro, which is where I have been staying during my trip to Lima at the Novotel hotel, which has been excellent. So this is my last day in Peru before I fly back to Sao Paulo in Brazil, and I wanted to have a quick look around the area I've been staying in. Until now, I've literally just been jumping in a taxi and going to the centre every day and sort of checking out the old town, touristy bits and pieces in the centre of the city with all the hustle and bustle and the goings on of central Lima. Today, I decided to just stay in the area where my hotel is and have a walk around, which has been great actually because it's slightly more off the beaten track, but it's still really interesting and sort of beautiful in its own way. So right now I'm in a park called El Parque Olivar. It has that name because it's named after these olive groves that you can see behind me. I spoke to somebody who lives here, and apparently this used to be a big farm for a wealthy family, and it got passed on to the local municipality some years ago and it was converted into a park, but they decided to keep the olive groves that were already here. Yeah, this is just a really beautiful part of Lima. I get the impression it's quite an upmarket part of Lima, to be honest, and therefore it's very safe. No issues with security, just very chilled, very quiet, very calm and tranquil, which is great, which is kind of exactly what you want really. And a nice contrast to the centre, which is very much a bustling metropolitan city with tons going on and, you know, millions of people milling around doing their thing. Just really good to be here, and I'm gonna have a wander around today, maybe get some food, kind of just discover San Isidro, this beautiful part of Lima. As you can see, it is relatively cloudy and even a bit misty in Lima today. It's about 17 degrees, so it's much cooler than it was in Brazil. It is the beginning of winter, so it's not that surprising. The temperature is quite a bit lower than it is in other parts of South America. So I'm just walking around this very beautiful little pond in the centre of the park. I get the impression this is more of a locals park rather than a tourists park, just because people look like they're going about their daily life as opposed to people like me. Very tranquil, very relaxed, and just getting an authentic view of the city of Lima. So there are some interesting turtles in the pond, some interesting birds, and there are quite a lot of fish in this part of the pond as well. Very cool fish. They're all coming. I haven't got any food for them though, so they're going to be disappointed. It's actually quite relaxing just watching these fish swim around. So at the moment, these are the only turtles I can actually see. Oh, there's one at the back there as well. 5 minutes ago, there was a whole family of turtles lying on this plank, but they seem to have gone for a swim. So we've got this bird, this sort of long-legged bird here on the side of the pond. I don't know what this bird is, but I imagine it's native to Peru. And right behind it there's a big old duck. So you can see what a nice park it is. It's a very beautiful, tranquil place. And we've got this kind of walkway here leading down further. So people are walking their dogs, but the dogs are on leads. You can see these olive trees. There are a few other trees scattered around, but the vast majority are olive trees. So this is literally just for pedestrians, no scooters or bikes allowed. So just got a little bandstand here on this part of the park. Some really beautiful houses, going around the park. I imagine this is one of the more expensive bits of Lima, judging by the size and the style of the houses. So yeah, it just looks like a really upmarket neighbourhood. And obviously being next to the park is a bonus. So I think because the weather's so cool in Lima, it does make the city feel very European, especially bits like this. I think you could be in Spain or in Italy or Portugal or something like that. Feels much more European than, for example, Brazil. There's much more of a kind of Spanish vibe in Peru. Hola.
Hola.
So look at this big old house. It looks like a German mansion or something. It's absolutely huge. Very beautiful. In caso de sismo, so in case of an earthquake, ubica aquí tu zona de refugio temporal. This is the location of your temporary refuge. So this is almost like a safety point when they have earthquakes. So obviously there is quite a lot of tectonic activity in Peru because it lies on a fault line. I'm sure that's something that the locals are kind of used to. It's something they don't have in Brazil because there's no tectonic activity in that country, but all along the Pacific coast there is. Buenas tardes. Es Emilio. Sí. Ah, ok. ¿Para los pescados o para los aves? Para las tortugas. Ah, ok. Muy bien. Gracias. Turtles aren't moving yet. They're playing the long game. To be honest, it seems like everybody but the turtles are getting the corn. Oh, look. The stork-like bird is here. Very cool. Very beautiful bird. Be interesting to see if this large bird tries to eat any of the fish, but he doesn't seem to be trying at the moment. But I think the turtles are going to go into the pond. Probably a bit stressed out with that big bird next to it. Más choclo.
Comida para peces.
Ah, es para las peces. Ah, ok. Pero la tortuga comen también. Ah, ok. ¿Y con cuál frecuencia alimenta?
2 veces al día.
2 veces al día. Ah, ok.
Ahí está la tortuga.
¿Cuántas tortugas tienen?
Más o menos ahí como 18.
18. Ah, okay. Muy bien. Right, so it's starting to drizzle a bit now, so I think it's probably a good time to leave the park and go and get some lunch. Okay, so I'm now on Avenida Los Conquistadores. Yeah, you can see from the kind of shops and restaurants that they have here what a smart bit of the city it is. Good thing to note, people don't stop at zebra crossings in Lima. So now you know. Yeah, so lots of stylish restaurants, very smart apartment blocks. I think along with Miraflores, this is one of the most upmarket bits of Lima. Although I get the impression Miraflores is more touristy. Having said that, I haven't actually been to Miraflores, so I don't know. But I'm kind of just guessing that that's the case. Yeah, so interesting little bakeries, restaurants, stuff like that. Wow, very smart Italian restaurant there called Troppo. got a small green space here. This is called Parque Pedro Murillo. This is who the small park is named after, Pedro Domingo Murillo. So we've got a small shopping center here. This is the Centro Comercial El Conqistador. Looks like quite a cool place. Hello.
Son los hermanos Juan Diego y Raúl Ríos que nos vienen a visitar desde los órganos.
Hola.
Hello.
Buenas tardes. Hola. Hola. Gracias. Quite a few restaurants actually. Lots of amazing smells of barbecue and fish and beef and things like that. Hola. Yeah, very interesting little shopping centre. Kind of different atmosphere to the rest of the area. Got your travel agents here. Don't see so many of those in the UK anymore. We used to have a lot of them. Cool little cafe and shop with fresh fruit. Deli bakery. That actually looks really cool. Very upmarket bakery. So even by Peruvian standards, this is actually quite a cold day. So we are right at the start of the winter and even the locals are finding it quite cold. Check out these high-rise towers. Yeah, so it's my plan to actually have lunch in this kind of arcade of restaurants and cafes. What's this called? It's called Mercado del Pilar, Camino Real. Yeah, so I walked past here earlier, a very vibrant place with tons going on. So I'm going to check it out and grab some lunch here, I think. Wow, got a good selection. Sushi, hamburgers, a bar. Lots of different options here. I found myself a seat at this restaurant called El Callejón, and I have ordered myself a Chaufa con Carne. So I actually had one of these the other day. Chaufa is a typical Peruvian dish, but it's actually a fusion dish. It's a bit like a Chinese egg fried rice with lots of different herbs and spices, Peruvian vegetables, and the beef is also Peruvian with its own seasonings. So yeah, I had one with seafood the other day. It was really good, and it came highly recommended by the waitress, so I decided to go for that. I've also ordered myself an Inca Kola. So I've heard a lot about this in Peru. It's the most popular soft drink in the country. It's a bit like Guaraná in Brazil, and it has this very strong yellow colour which looks quite artificial. And I asked the waitress, and apparently it's made of some sort of plant that grows in the interior of the country. So no doubt it's also got a lot of sugar, but I'm interested to give it a go and see what it's like. I'm going to give this a try. This is the famous Inca Kola that they have here in Peru. I've heard some really interesting things about it. I've heard some good things, I've heard some bad things, so really interested to see what this is like. Does look rather artificial, I have to say, but ooh, wow, that is delicious. Oh my god, that's so nice. Actually a lot nicer than I was expecting. When I first tried it, I got the impression it was a bit like iron brew, but it's actually much sweeter and sort of smoother than iron brew. It's kind of mellow but sweet. Oh my god, that is amazing. So good. You have to try this if you come to Peru. It is delicious. It's almost a bit like jelly. You know the aftertaste you get with jelly? It's kind of that sweetness at the end, which is so nice. I'm now in love with Inca Kola. Needless to say, this isn't very healthy because it's a soft drink, but it's good to do some cultural research of the cuisine in Peru. I don't know if you can see, but they've actually got the map of Peru behind the written sign on the bottle. But I did notice on the back, it is part of the Coca-Cola company. So I'm actually not surprised because Coca-Cola ends up buying most of these local soft drinks. But honestly, this is absolutely delicious. Give it a try if you come to Peru. I think it might be on sale in other countries in South America. I've never seen it in Brazil, but apparently you can buy it in other countries as well. Muchas gracias. My Chaufa has arrived. Check this out. Looks like a very beautiful mound of rice and beef and herbs and all sorts of other things as well. Just wonder what these are. These are breadsticks. Muchas gracias.
Mayonesa y ají.
Ají es picante.
Sí.
Okay, gracias. So I've got some mayonnaise and I've got this spicy sauce called ají, which they serve with kind of everything here. So yeah, I'm going to put some on the side. So for the first time on my trip, I'm actually cold. I think I should have put a jumper on today because it is really chilly now. It's weird how your body kind of adapts because 16, 17 degrees wouldn't feel cold in England, but it kind of feels cold here because it's been so warm on the other bits of the trip. Okay, so yeah, really beautiful presentation of this Chaufa. Yeah, really delicious. It's definitely a Chinese fusion style. So because Peru is right on the Pacific coast, I think there was a lot of migration from China to Peru over the years, and it's obviously influenced the cuisine quite a lot. Yeah, the waitress told me this is actually a fusion dish between the Peruvian and Chinese cuisines. So yeah, you can really see that. Really good. And the ají sauce is quite spicy, so it gives it a bit of heat and a bit of a kick. And the mayonnaise is just like a nice smooth texture to soften it out a bit. So that also adds a bit of moisture to the dish because otherwise it's just rice and beef. So yeah, it's good to have these extra sauces as well. So my chaufa with beef was absolutely delicious. It was relatively simple, but just a really good hearty plate of food. I did need the mayonnaise and the ají sauce, otherwise it would have been just a little bit dry and maybe just a little bit simple on its own. But the sauces added quite a lot to the dish actually, so that was really good. So very kindly, the staff here at Callejón have let me have these on the house. These are 3 cheese fritters with some avocado dip. It's really nice of them, and they said that they just wanted me to try some more of the local Peruvian food and cuisine, so yeah, really, really nice gesture there. Literally just looks like a cheese fritter, and I'm going to dunk it in. It's nice and hot actually. This is kind of like a guacamole sauce. Really good. Just got a lovely flavour, a lovely texture. It's quite sort of soft and gooey. I'll have to find out what these are called in Spanish. So I think this is more like a starter really, but when something's this nice it kind of doesn't matter in what sequence you actually eat it in. So yeah, he did say there are 3 different types of cheese, so I'll be interested to see what this one's like. But again, really nice because it's hot and it's crispy and quite crunchy. And the last one. Really lovely. It's just got that delicious sort of hot cheese melting in your mouth sensation with the crunchiness of the pastry. It works really well. And then you've got some nice cool avocado sauce to smoothen it out a bit. Absolutely delicious snack, and yeah, really kind of them to give me that on the house. Wasn't expecting it, but gratefully received on my behalf. So yeah, that was lovely. Just for reference, this is what I have for my main course. This is Chaufa de Carne, and this comes under the title of arroces. Small plate I got at the end was called this one here, Tequeños de queso. So Tequeños is the name of the fritter, and queso just means cheese. So that's what that's called, and they were both really delicious actually. Oh, I think this is a photo of it here. Yeah, and I definitely recommend El Callejón if you are in Lima. So I'm just walking down this big avenue right in the center of San Isidro. At the end of this avenue, we've got the main church, and this is called La Parroquia de Nuestra Señora del Pilar. It does look closed at the moment, but it actually was open yesterday evening. So this avenue is called Avenida Victor del Balaunde, and this is where I've been staying at the Novotel hotel, which has actually been really good for me. So this is the Novotel here, this very modern building. Hola. Bien, gracias. ¿Y tú? Yeah, so you can see it's a relatively modern design in the Novotel. Very stylish. And interestingly, there is a beauty queen pageant taking place in Lima. And a lot of the contestants are staying in this hotel. So at breakfast, there is quite an array of different beauty queens with their sashes, and they're all from different countries in Latin America. So I've been staying on the 5th floor at the Novotel. It's been very good actually, I can't complain. It has been awesome staying here, I definitely recommend it. It's got amazing facilities, it's got a pool, a gym, a spa, and yeah, I used the gym the other day, it was really good. Very good service, nice breakfast, rooms are really spacious and comfortable, so yeah, I can't really complain. Okay, so I'm in the basement now, and I just wanted to show you the gym. For a hotel gym, it's pretty decent. It's got cardio, some weights, and yeah, treadmills, TVs. It is air conditioned, nice and cool in here. It's got one of those wooden racks at the back. So yeah, it's kind of got most things that you would need. And in here is the pool. Yeah, so that's actually the spa down there, and you can book a massage if you want. Yeah, so just a really sort of pleasant environment. I haven't actually used the pool, but I might do later on before I do my checkout because I've got a few hours. Good for a dip. A nice area to chill out in the afternoon if you want to do a workout and go for a swim. This is the bar area, and here is the dining room where breakfast is served and things like that. Yeah, so you can just see it's a very sort of sleek, modern, elegant hotel. There's a few shops on this street as well, which is quite handy. I would definitely recommend it. It's just a good hotel that has good service and is quite stylish as well. Very modern. I think it's a French chain of hotels. It's been good all around, really. It has been amazing in Lima. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm really glad that I actually came here because I was umming and ahhing about whether I should just stay in Brazil for a bit longer or whether I should try a new country and a new culture. Yeah, and I'm really glad that I did come to Lima because it is beautiful and just a massive contrast to Brazil, sort of a bigger contrast than I was expecting. So yeah, that was really interesting and fascinating. So San Isidro as an area of Lima is really beautiful, and I've had a great time staying here. It's been exactly what I was looking for, exactly what I needed for my short stay here. Fantastic parks, restaurants, cafes just around the corner from the hotel. Very safe environment. So I am aware of the fact that I am staying in quite a touristy area. So along with Miraflores and the old city, these are kind of the main areas where the tourists stay. I have been told that outside of these bits of Lima, it's not quite as secure and safe as it is here. But the whole time I've been in this area, I've felt really safe, and sort of personal security hasn't been an issue at all. I haven't even sort of thought about it. So something that everybody asked me when I first arrived is, when are you going to Cusco and when are you going to Machu Picchu? Unfortunately, I'm only here for 3.5, sort of 4 days. There's just not enough time for me to actually do that trip. So I have always wanted to check out Machu Picchu and see what it's like, but on this occasion it just wasn't realistic. And to be honest, I just wanted more of a kind of introduction to Peru and to its culture, its food, its people, the language and that kind of thing. And I felt like a short city break in Lima would be enough and would be what I wanted, and that has been the case. It's been amazing and I've absolutely loved it. It's been really fascinating. So do check out San Isidro if you do come to Lima. It's a really beautiful area, just a really beautiful, sort of quite sleek, modern, safe neighbourhoods with very nice restaurants and bars and cafes and things like that. Brilliant. Well, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate your time. If you have enjoyed this video, please subscribe for more content that might be up your street. Take care, and I will see you next time. Bye-bye.